Hey guys, Ivan here, and in today's video we got a couple of very interesting bodybuilding updates. The first one is some bad news for all the Brazilian fans and for the rest of us, of course. Rafel Brandao is out of the Mr. Olympia 2025. As you guys know, he qualified for the Mr. Olympia late last year at Romania Pro, right before the Prague Pro. He won that show. It was close between him and Kim Williams, but he won. He qualified, and now it seems like he won't be able to participate, to compete. Why is that? That's because he's gonna have to take a break from bodybuilding. Why? Because of health issues. Now, unfortunately for the rest of us, he decided to only address his Brazilian fans. He didn't make any posts, any explanation in English, but a couple of Instagram pages caught this and they made a story about it, and you can translate the title of his video as well. As you can see, it says, "I will have to stop, understand." And also you can translate the video automatically on YouTube. So let's check it out. As you can see here, he's talking about what is the issue, why he has to stop his preparation. And long story short, basically, he has a leaky gut. He has digestion issues. And he explains in this video what a leaky gut is. So if you guys want to hear or read his explanation of a leaky gut, you can go and watch the video. I don't know if you're interested in hearing Rafael's explanation of what leaky gut is, but if you are, go to his channel. Overall, what you need to know, guys, is that he's going to have to stop doing bodybuilding, not just prepping for the show, but he's gonna have to take a break from bodybuilding completely. That means eating like a bodybuilder, training like a bodybuilder, and doing the other things that a bodybuilder does. Because his gut, his intestine is in a bad shape, and he needs to take some time off to let it rest up and recover. And hopefully he will be back to normal after that process is done, but it's gonna take him a long time. I mean, a couple of months at least, maybe more. And somebody on Fuad's podcast yesterday, I think it was Ian Valier, who said that Rafael had some kidney issues, which is not true. It's just gut issues, and that's definitely fixable. That's definitely not a big issue. He can definitely get that taken care of, but it's definitely a good thing to take a break right now as soon as possible before he messes it up too much. And I think he caught it early, basically. I mean, he had some symptoms over the years, like getting diarrhea and this and that. It wasn't too bad, but he had a couple of tests done and he figured out that it is an issue. So he's going to address that, take a year off from bodybuilding, and I think he's going to come back easy next year. But this year, he won't be on the Mr. Olympia stage, and it's not as bad as it sounds. Yeah, it's health issues, but it's not like his kidneys are failing. It's not a heart issue or something serious like that. I mean, this is serious, but it's fixable. So he will be back to normal, I'm sure, next year, and we will see him on the Mr. Olympia stage when he qualifies by winning one of the shows next year. But yeah, this year, 2025 Mr. Olympia, we won't get to see Rafael up there, unfortunately. Alright, the next thing we got is a new physique update by Nick Walker. And this was actually posted 3 days ago. I didn't make a video about it because I already made a whole bunch of updates of Nick Walker, and also it was Arnold Classic, so he wasn't exactly a hot topic at the moment. But it's interesting to see, still at 10 weeks out, what Nick is looking like, how his conditioning is coming along, and his fullness, how everything is holding up. And I gotta say, it looks good. It definitely looks very good. Now, I don't know how many of you guys actually watch Fuad's podcast, the Bro Chat. I definitely do. I always have been. I'm a huge fan. And for me, it was a really, really good news that Nick is finally back. And I've been commenting about that for a long time now. When Guy came back for the first time, I was like, is Nick coming back next? When is Nick coming back? And he's back officially. And I think the podcast has a different dynamic, different energy that Nick is now back. I hope he's going to stay there. It wasn't just a one-time thing, but we'll see. Anyways, there were a couple of take-homes at that podcast, a couple of interesting things that were said. One of the interesting things was when Seth Ferosi said that Nick is basically late with conditioning, or that he is not as conditioned as he would usually be at this point in prep. That was Seth's assessment. Do I see that? I absolutely do not. I don't know how Seth saw that. Maybe he has a better eye than me. To me personally, I think this is a very good conditioning for 10 weeks out, and I think Nick was usually probably not even in this kind of conditioning at 10 weeks out. I think he's kind of, I want to say ahead, I think he's spot on. How much more conditioned does he need to be at 10 weeks out? And also, was he ever more conditioned than this at 10 weeks out? Maybe if he was doing like 2 shows back to back, I mean, a couple of months in between, but no, if he started a new prep and he hasn't competed in a while, I think this is very good. That's my opinion. Here's a back shot. I mean, are the glutes in? Are they shredded? Are his hamstrings peeled and his lower back? No, but guys, 10 more weeks. I think this is very good conditioning for 10 weeks out. I think he has enough time to really do whatever he wants in those 10 weeks. Now, another interesting thing that was said in this podcast was when Nick was asked what he thinks he's going to do at the Mr. Olympia. And it seems like he believes he will be in that top 3. He feels like Hadi is fading. And he believes that he's going to smoke Martin easy. And it's going to end up being between him and Derek and Samson. Do I see that? Well, I can see that, sure. I mean, maybe it's a little bit optimistic with Nick's stomach, the way his midsection looks these days. Maybe it's not very realistic, but I think it's possible. I think it's definitely a possibility. We'll see if it's going to play out that way, but I think it's not completely out of left field. I think it's pretty reasonable, but we'll see. You guys might have a different opinion. That's okay. And another very interesting thing that Nick said was when he was asked about what he thinks about Bob Cicarillo, saying that Nick will never win the Mr. Olympia and that he has a age taper. And I'll play that part of the video for you guys. Even if you watched it already, I think it's an interesting part of the video to listen again.
What do you think about Bob Cicarillo saying you're not going to ever win the Mr. Olympia?
Who the fuck is Bob?
Feel like you love it.
It's just an analyst. Come on, you got to give him like he's just saying. He's just saying his opinion.
No. Here's the thing, right? And I'm all for constructive criticism. I don't give a fuck. But sure. you want to play the game a little bit, like you're being okay. Now I'm gonna play it back, all fair and game. But watching it and the way he would say some things, it was a little disrespectful. So yeah. That's cool if that's truly how you feel.
Yeah.
But an H shape has got me top 3 at the Olympia, an Arnold Classic win, and 2 New York Pros. So it is what it is.
Right.
Bob Cicarillo has won USAs.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, I love Nick's response. I mean, I also like what Bob said. It was a little bit disrespectful, I get it, but it was him being honest. That's the way he saw it. He thinks Nick will never win the Mr. Olympia and that he has an age taper. A funny way to express that Nick doesn't have the best structure. But Nick, of course, didn't like that very much, and he kind of went after Bob Cicarillo here, but not really. I mean, I don't think Bob cares too much about his competitive history. I think he's, definitely way more of an MC at shows, at Mr. Olympia especially. He has been doing that job for a long time, and he does have a really, really special voice, and he's doing a good job as an MC, but as an analyst, yeah, he has some harsh takes, and he is a little bit, I would say, full of himself and comes off a little bit arrogant. No wonder he's friends with Sean Ray. But that's what he's like. Like him or hate him, it is what it is. As far as Nick and his opinion, he believes that he still, when he's in good condition, if he's on, he still thinks he can do some really big things in bodybuilding. I think there is a solid possibility of that. I just don't know about the midsection, how that will look. It seems like it's not getting smaller. It seems like it's gonna be an issue still. But with the freak factor, with really good polish, good conditioning, good posing, I think he can still do very well, with the freak factor and everything. But you guys tell me, what do you think down below in the comment section. Alright, and finally, we got some new photos, a new update from Blessing Avoribu. And I gotta say, he definitely is improving rapidly, guys. I mean, in the last update that he posted, he seemed like he was like 100 weeks out. But right now, I think this can actually be a good package for the New York Pro, which is in, I believe, 12 weeks or a little bit less than that. It seems like his conditioning started improving rapidly from that last point. It was kind of stagnant for a while. It seems like he was stuck for a couple of weeks, but whatever he did, whatever his coach, George Farah, did, it seems like now things are moving in the right direction. He seems more conditioned, a lot more conditioned. And I do think he improved the legs. I mean, we'll see how much of those legs will stay there once he's completely in shape. But I think he did make some progress. I mean, I hope he did, because he really took the time to do a bulk, and he bulked hard, man. Like, he probably ate a lot, because he got really freaking massive, really bloated as well. And he took, I think, 1 year or 2 years off of competing. And now he has a new coach as well, George Farah. Interestingly, George Farah was recently fired by Ali Bilal, who dominated the Arnold Classic. And by the way, I gotta make a correction here. I said that he was 5th or 4th, something like that, last year at the Mr. Olympia, which is not the case. He was actually 2nd. It was a very close 2nd to Ryan Terry, and he apparently improved a lot for the Arnold Classic. So right now, he seems to be the favorite, either him or Ryan Terry, to win the Mr. Olympia. So I don't follow man's physique, but this was interesting. The guy really was impressive, really freaking dominant on that stage, and I think he's going to win the Mr. Olympia. But that's beside the point. Let's talk about blessing and bodybuilding, open bodybuilding, actually. So like I said, the guy fired George Farah and went to Crisito 1 week out of Arnold Classic. However, Blessing started working with George Farah recently. And again, I thought George Farah was retired from coaching, but no, it seems like that's not the case. He's definitely coming back. He's coming back with the Blessing of Oribu. How will they do? Well, we'll see. I don't think I can see Blessing winning against Nick Walker, but it seems like Nick might not even do the New York Pro based on what he said on Fuad's podcast. It all depends on how he does at Pittsburgh. If he wins Pittsburgh, he actually might not even do the New York, but we'll see. If Martin actually competes at Pittsburgh and he loses, he might go and do the New York. That's also something the guys are talking on the podcast. We'll see. As far as Blessing winning against those two guys and against Krijo and against who else? Regan Grimes, man, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. I don't see that happening. He did win one New York Pro, but that was against Charles Griffin, not against top Olympians. But he does have an impressive physique, a really impressive upper body, a back especially. It's just the quads that are a question mark. It seems like he improved them, but how much? Will it be enough? However, conditioning-wise, at this point, I don't think it's going to be an issue. It seems like he's progressing fast. He looks good for 12 weeks out, actually. I think he can make it and be really conditioned. But whatever you guys think, tell me down below in the comment section. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. For more content like this, guys, about bodybuilding, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon. All the best, and bye-bye.